and you just click extract, and you could put in the title of the album, the artist, and the genre, and the year, etc., etc., if that file information was not available when the CD was loaded. If it couldn't find the information, you can put the information in these fields. I'm not going to burn a CD just for an example so I can pop it back in, and I'm not messing with all that, but just if this information is not populated, or even if it is, you can edit it or create it, and it will apply it to the CD. I'm guessing, obviously, you could play the CD too while it's in there, and you could tell it to refresh the CD if it didn't read correctly, stuff like that. Set preferences. If I set your computer up, you probably ought to leave them like they are. Anyway, it rips it as is, and if I remember right, you have the option to select what format it rips it to. And I did not select it. Oh, wait a minute. I set other people's computers up, not mine. Yeah, you could choose MP3. Now, if you do not have MP3 available, that's because you don't have the MP3 libraries installed on your computer. You need to install them. Now, one thing I want to point out, if there's something you ripped before you installed MP3 libraries, or something you need to convert, period, there's this little program called Sound Converter. And remember, all this is under the Applications, Sound and Video menu. Anyway, you get the one. Let me make sure I don't have anything else major. Yeah, I still need to cover Brasero. Anyway, Sound Converter is pretty nice. You can take pretty much any sound you've got and drop it in there, whether it be Vorbis, Wave, MP3, AAC, FLAC. Drop it in here, go to Edit Preferences, and then choose what you want to happen. I leave these two options select. Put in the same folder as the input file and delete original file. What that does is instead of you choosing a different folder for every time you have to encode something, you just tell it to put it back in the same folder you dropped it in from, and to delete the original file when it's done. How to name files, I leave it same as input, but replace the suffix. For example, if you dropped mysong.wave in there, then it would be replace it with the same name, mysong dot, but it replace the wave with MP3, if that's what you have selected. Replace all messy characters, I'd leave that alone. I'd leave it unchecked unless it's already checked when you install it, and then your operating system might have detected that it might need it, so leave that be, unless you really know what you're doing, and in that case you don't need to be watching this video to begin with. Down here, type of result. Do you want an OGG Vorbis file, an MP3 file, a free lossless audio codec file, a WAV file, or an advanced audio codec file? AAC is fine for video, but if it's for an MP3 player, really you want MP3. I believe there's a lot of MP3 players that cannot play AAC yet, even though AAC is supposed to be the successor to MP3, even though it's better, blah blah blah. Bitrate mode, if you ever plan on doing any kind of editing or whatever with your MP3, you might want to put it on CBR. It says variable bitrate's best quality, and I'm sure that's true, but if you put it on constant bitrate, then you can actually edit that song later, or throw that song in with video footage of something and make yourself a video of it, whatever. It's easier to edit something that's in constant bitrate a lot of the times. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. Quality, leave it as normal. Unless there is a really particular reason you need it above normal or below normal, leave it at 128 kilobytes per second. That gives you great sound quality at a small file size. You go above that, you're wasting file size because you're not going to hear the difference in quality. You go below that, you're definitely going to hear the difference in quality, and you're not going to save much file size. So just leave it at 128 normal quality. And then you click close, and whatever's in this list, and you can add hundreds of files to this list at a time. You could just drag and drop and drag and drop all day long, and as you can see, you could drop whole folders in there. If I wanted to be a dickhead, I could drop my entire music directory in there. But anyway, it'll actually go through and convert all these, and whatever file that folder that file came from, it'll put it back into after it's done. And you just click convert, and it'll give you a little progress bar down here. And that's how you convert anything you want to an MP3. Now, see. There it is. Brasero. Like I said, this is the same thing as what was the other thing I just said? Gnome Baker. It's pretty much the same thing. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and open it. Alright, Gnome Baker and Brasero, they're pretty much point and click burners for ISOs, data, and audio. If you want to make an audio CD that you can jam to in your truck, then you click Audio CD. And up here you select a directory you want to go to. And for those of you not familiar with Linux computers or Unix-based computers, this side over here is a shortcut. It's like if you ever seen the open file dialog on your Windows computer, you'll notice on the left you have the option to click on your desktop, click on my computer, click on whatever. Well, that's pretty much the same thing. And then you click on the right and it'll show directories inside that area. Anyway, so you would go open your music folders up that you want to burn, and then select different songs with shift click. Again, the top one was already selected, so we can hold shift click down here and it would select the entire range. If you don't want this one, hit control click, and you can remove ones you don't want. And just click add files, and it'll, oh shit, it does that every time. Down here, this little option, I don't know why in the hell the makers of Gnome Baker put the default CD type as 21-minute CD. Change it to an 80-minute CD. If you bought a normal CDR from the store, then you got an 80-minute CD, a 700 megabyte. Change this down here to 80 minutes so you can add your music to it. And it'll tell you how much time you've used and how much time you have remaining. Once you're done, you can click burn, and what it will do is convert everything you've got from the format that it's in right now. For example, these are all MP3s. Well, everything has to be converted into CDDA format or CDA format. Anyway, so it'll do that and then burn it. That's how you do that. And no, we do not want to close, or yes, we want to close the project. If you are going to just burn pictures or movies to a DVD or a CD, then you can burn data. Burn it as data. And it'll open this right here. And you can put music, pictures, or movies on it. Now remember though, that a DVD player cannot watch the movies that are on your data CDs. Only computers can. And remember also that a CD player cannot listen to the music that is on your data CDs. Only a computer can, unless you got a good computer or a good CD player. But we're not going to get into that. This is for beginners. So pretty much just understand that whatever you put on a data CD or DVD is meant for computers to use, not DVD players and not CD players, only for computers. So if you want to burn something to give to a friend to put on their computer, you can burn it as data, as a data DVD or data CD. And if you want it to be listened to on a CD player, you have to burn it as audio. Again, unless you've got a good CD player, but we're not going to cover that right now. Now, I don't see. There's one option I don't see on here that I know Brasero has. Okay, Brasero is pretty much the exact same thing. If you want to burn an audio CD to listen to in your CD player, click on Audio Project. And again, as you've seen on the front page, there was big bright buttons, hard to mistake anything. Open your music folder and go down to whatever you want to burn to CD, and select the and that's great, it crashed. What a hell of a time to crash on me, you bastard. Alright, let's try this one more time, because Brasero really is a nice program. Like I said, it crashes more than GNOME does. I don't know why. And I notice it's only when you get down into the audio level. When you're going through the file system, it's fine, but once you open the last folder that contains the music, that's when it crashes. Don't know why it does it. Alright, but anyway, seeing it crashed again. That pisses me off. Alright, we're skipping the audio CD part, but check it out. I'll say this much. You click on these files, and then you click up here where the plus symbol is and says add, and it'll pop up over here on this side. And it'll down here on the bottom, it'll show you how much time you have left on your DVD or CD, or your CD. Obviously, it has to be a CD if you selected audio. And then once you've got what you want to be satisfied with on there, you can click burn right here, and it'll convert everything to CD audio and burn it.